KC Radio 97.7 FM welcomes you to the coverage of the South East Football League, live across Melbourne and online at kcradio.com.au.
And welcome everybody.
Who was that 3-year-old in the effects mic there? But welcome back to halftime. 6 points the margin. It's 23-29, 4-5-29 to 3-5-23. A big thank you to the girls at the Berwick kitchen who have supplied lunch to us today. A massive souvlaki. Thank you so much. We're underway here for the second half. Meyer taps it down towards Mitchum. He collects one high. No free kick was paid. Mitchum's dived on top and has been penalised for a push in the back. So Harold will take the free kick here for the Wickers. You're tuned into KC Radio 97.7 FM as Harold kicks it long. Off the side of the boot towards West. We need him to kick the first goal to win $100. He drops the mark. The ball spills out there towards Arts. Now, Beaky try and clear it now. Close to the boundary line here. It's Mislicki. He can kick it long to centre half forward. But reading the play there nicely was Johnson. Doc mentioned him as the most influential player in this second half, the loose man in defence. Johnson goes short, finds Hillard. He'll have to kick the ball long, leading up to it, but dropping the mark there was Gunn. The hand pass comes back out towards West. He gives a don't argue, then an ineffective kick away. He couldn't get it away, and the free kick's gone the way of Beaconsfield Daniel Mislicki. Chips with chicken salt and souvlaki. We don't get this at any other venue. Mislicki goes long to a 2-on-1 contest. McDermott was out in the wrong position. The punch coming there from Johnson. It's gone over the boundary line. Berwick attacking towards the gymnasium end here in this third quarter. They'll be kicking with the aid of a breeze. We'll cross down to our boundary rider in a few moments. And once he's got rid of the souvlaki, Meyer to Mitchum. He kicks it off the one step. It's a high under kick. There's been a free kick off the play. McDermott's been shepherded out of it there by Johnson. He was a long way from that marking contest. And Troy McDermott will take the free kick there for Beaconsfield. He'll be kicking from 35 metres, or probably closer to 40 metres out, directly in front. We know teams have been struggling to kick the goals at this end into the breeze. This is a big kick to bring the scores back to level. McDermott, he missed one from a closer distance in this first quarter. In he comes now from 40 metres out. Troy McDermott, well, he's learnt from his first attempt. That ball's gone straight through and over the line for a goal. McDermott kicks his first goal of the afternoon. It's a draw here at Edward Flack Reserve. The scores are level, 4-5-29 apiece. We've gone 1 minute of the second half here on 97.7 FM. Great start there to Beaconsfield, Trent.
Absolutely, and a great result there from McDermott as well. As you mentioned, missed a shot from about 20 metres closer to the goal line in the first quarter. So that's a really great result for him and a great start to the second half for the Eagles. They really needed that one just to settle themselves down. And this is going to be a very exciting game. We've just started the second half going into 3 minutes, but what a game it's shaping up to be. McDermott taps it down. Mitchum couldn't get his disposal away that time. There's a pack forming on top of the football there. It was Scott Meyer, I think, at the bottom of the pack. No, it was Mislicki. He had 3 Berwick players to beat. They're all appealing for a free kick. It wasn't paid. Battle of top spot here. Battle of the Creek. Battle for the Frank Elliott Shield. And Mitchum tries to get the hand pass out of that clearance there towards Mislicki. He got tackled high the first time and then got brought to ground by Harold, and he's been penalised for holding the football. He's looked a little bit slow this afternoon, Mislicki. But Harold has the free kick. He'll go short to centre wing where Brennan takes the mark. Brennan also goes on there towards Yields. They're brothers from different mothers. Yields goes short on a long lead there and taking a nice mark is Van Schilt. He's gone from the long sleeves to the short sleeve. He kicks it long. It's a bit of a mongrel punt forward. Coming up to meet it there was Manley. He couldn't collect it. It was a beautiful trap though by Meyer in the last line of defence there for Beaconsfield. It comes out now to Swaja. The kick around the body. McDermott was held on to. No free kick was paid. He goes in a second time. The soccer coming out there from Johnson to Brennan. The hand pass towards Matty Andrews. From 50 metres out, Andrews goes with a long shot towards goal. It goes right across the face. And Stewart punches that one through for a behind.
So Berwick's first score of the second half, they take the lead, 4-6-30, leading by a point. Beaky kick it in quickly. Nislicky's taking the mark there in front of Kearns. So the premiership captain for Beaconsfield, he kicks it long. Bowd's going to be the option, turning around and reading it nicely. Bowd should have used his body better in that contest, but the mark's been paid there towards Morrish. Joyce, a long way from home, could be the option there on centre wing. Bowd decides to kick it in his direction now. McDermott's there. Oh, Joyce has read that better than anybody. That should be 50 metres. The mark's been paid. Taylor Joyce has marked it, and Jaden Joyce has gone through and punched that ball away. I've got the umpire next to me. Was that not 50 because it was in the marking contest? Okay. So Joyce will take the mark or free kick. He goes short towards Barrett, who didn't read the play well. Yields has gone through and applied a strong bump there. And Bowd is feeling a little bit worse for wear after going back with the football. One of the under-19 players. He's looking for a break. He's got a stinger on the shoulder. He'll be replaced by McGowan. So Joyce flies high there against Jaden Joyce. Taps it towards the back of the pack, but it's Berwick with the numbers there. Brennan by hand towards Johnson. He kicks it out now towards Reesley. He's got the run there against Dower. The ball's going to beat him towards the boundary line. He keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Now, Bailey, just in front of you there. You ready to have a chat to us?
I am, boys. I'll suss out this shoulder injury that we just saw from the Jake Yields bump. I'll get back to you.
Bailey walking around on the boundary with his plate full of Suvalaki. We do it well here on 97.7. We've been treated to a smorgasbord of food by the Berwick Football Club, and we thank them so much.
And we thought
they're leading by a point.
And we thought Tooradin looked after us, but Kane.
Oh, they need to work on it.
They're going to have to turn it up now. But
these chips will be gone in 5 minutes.
Oh, no, we share it around here.
The ball's thrown in. No, we don't share it. We've got one player who all of a sudden comes MVP when the food's served, and it's Bryce. He's worse than a seagull on a hot chip. So the ball's just on the plane of 50. Big pack of players around it. You've got to enjoy it. These are some of the perks of calling local football. This is the best feast we've had. Hope they play the grand final here. Berwick, number one vote in our books, that's for sure. So Johnson flew high, punched it about 30 metres as far as he could kick it. Kearns did well. He's kept the ball in, kick around the bodies. They've got the ball 90 metres in that passage of play. Strong tackle applied there by Gunn, not rewarded against their G. Van Schutt goes in, taps it towards Gunn. They're just persistence and ability to keep the ball moving forward there. Berwick saw them take it from the half-back line to the deep inside forward 50. The ball's going to be thrown in. These kids are
throwing rocks onto the ground.
People have seen it.
He's just throwing that 30 metres onto the ground there, and he's just been held up by the boys in the marquee tent next to us.
Yeah, good. I'll be watching you, Blondie. If I see you throwing more rocks, you might be evicted as a 5-year-old. I'm a bully. Meyer doing the ruck, uses his body well, punches towards the boundary line, but Harold was there. Shows a cannon to get around Olsen. Kick towards the hot spot. Berwick players to turn back towards goal. Roberts read that nicely, took the mark on his chest. So deep inside defensive 50. He's been called to play on. He's been tackled there by Gunn. That's holding the football. I'm not too sure about that one. He's been called to play on. He did have prior opportunity, of course. The free kick has been paid. Gunn just swamped his opponent there, Roberts, when the umpire called play on. They're arguing the point, but Gunn will now have a shot on goal from 30 metres out, basically directly in front. 1 point the margin. He can make it 7. We are going close to 10 minutes here of the third quarter on 97.7 FM. Mitchum off, Johnston back on as Gunn has a shot on goal. The local crowd are happy. That's his first goal of the afternoon by Tim Gunn. He goes to 27 goals for the season, and Berwick go to 5-6-36, leading by 7 points against Beaky, 4-5-29. We have gone 9 minutes of play here on 97.7 FM.
Text message coming through on 0429466373. Reports of a backlog of dim sims in the Berwick canteen. They've ordered extra dim sims in for Trent Knight, but he didn't show up at half time.
I want to see that text message.
Do you want to see it right now?
No, it's okay.
You can see it. I'll show you
Keep a couple spare then, and I want them as freebies for three-quarter time.
We've got the bag behind the scoreboard to collect as well.
Not the only thing behind that scoreboard.
So Meyer taps it down there towards Johnson, worried out of it there by McClarty, or strong bump applied. McClarty will receive the free kick. So by hand he goes to Brennan, who kicks it out towards Phillips. He's got the space there on Meyer, tries to run away from Meyer, breaks the tackle, does well. Long penetrating kick inside forward, 50 coming up to meet it there, Manly. He slid into the contest and tapped the ball, and it ricocheted out towards Dodsworth. So Beaconsfield kick it out towards centre wing, Yields and Arts. Arts tries to get the don't argue to Yields, he's been tackled, that's holding the footy. Try to do a little bit too much with it there, Arts.
After wickets!
More people yelling and screaming. Yep, you don't get 2 points for that, mate. And the ball's been kicked out towards the half-forward line there. Gunn drops the mark. The pack forms once again. McClarty goes in, applies a strong tackle. The umpire's going to have to play. No, the ball's now come out. West, the kick around the body towards centre half-forward. No one will meet it. Meyer does well to collect the ball on the bounce. He kicks the ball forward. McDermott in the best position to mark. Going back with the flight of the football there, Jaden Joyce was courageous. McDermott's played a strong tackle there on Johnson. How's the umpire going to see that? No, it wasn't holding the football that time. And the ball's going to be thrown up on the half-forward line. Beaky attacking against the breeze. We'll speak to Bailey if they saw that breeze. Here come Beaconsfield now. Johnson doing the roving. Kicks it towards the hotspot. They need a mark from Dower. Risley does well. Brings the ball to ground. Risley keeps the ball in now. Drops it under some pressure. He's been tackled. Ridden into the ground. Should have been in the back. Wasn't paid. Dower's sitting on top of the ball trying to hatch it. And the umpire's going to throw it up. 15 metres directly in front of Beaconsfield's goal. They're trailing by 7 points on 97.7 FM. Match of the day. Round 14 action for Menwood Flack. Risley taps it back there towards his partner in crime, Michael Johnson. He kicks the ball away under pressure. Loose football now. Meyer collects it. Meyer could kick this from 55 out. Decides to spear it in and find McDermott on the lead. Unselfish football there by Scott Meyer. Both teams are coming out to play in this second half. And Troy McDermott will line up now. He's kicked one for the quarter. Can he make it two? He'll be kicking it from, well, this one a little bit further out on a difficult angle. Oh, not really difficult, I shouldn't say, but 45 degrees. He'll be kicking this one from 35 metres out. Bryce wants some chips. And McDermott now, this is a big kick. He can reduce the margin back to only a point. In he comes. The experienced campaigner gets under it, brings the ball back in the breeze, but, oh, has that ball come back? No. One behind. 4-6-30, the Eagles trailing the Wickers by 6 points. We have gone now 10 minutes. Trent's got the time clock there, keeping me in order. And Kearns kicks it in. And the ball goes back to Kearns, back into the back pocket. So they've gone nowhere with the disposal. Kearns going to go back there looking for Hillard once again. So they've had 3 disposals and gone no meterage at all. Hillard's kicks a floater. And a courageous attempt at the mark there by the captain, Andrews. He's done well. Still inside defensive pressure. Beaconsfield are adopting a deep zone here, making it hard for Berwick to clear. So Andrews just has to kick it out towards Van Schilt and Dodsworth. Van Schilt does well, traps the football, collects it now. Hand pass in the space, allowing Brennan to run onto it, but Kearns is there. Gets the hand pass back to Van Schilt. Team play working well here for the Wickers. The hand pass back there towards Brennan. He's kept running there, Kearns. He can kick the ball inside forward 50. Johnson's there. They all compete. No one can take the mark. At ground level though, it's Berwick. The kick around the body's going to bounce through. Oh, it's been touched on the last line. That shot on goal coming from, was it Mackay? No, I think the kick coming there was by Nelson and it went through for a behind. 5-7-37 Berwick. Get back out to that 7 point margin here. 11 minutes gone of the third quarter. Kicking it in there is G. He's put it all the way out there towards Meyer, who's taken the mark. Defensive side of centre wing. He needs a big quarter to lift his Eagles side here, Scott Meyer. It's a mongrel kick off the boot. He really hacked it forward. The breeze causing some problems with disposal by foot this afternoon. Johnson's there to receive the hand pass. He kicks it towards centre half back where he finds Risley. He plays on. The kick over around the body towards Gunn. They competes there against G. Gunn does well to trap it. Keeps the ball in front of him. Now collects it. Takes a bounce. Is that holding the football there? No, he's been held without it. But was he in the process of bouncing the football? 50-50 either way. The umpire's gone the way of Gunn. Was penalised there against Roberts. Gunn sees a player in the corner of his eye. Rather than blazing away, he spotted up Phillips. But there's been a free kick down the field. 50 metres has been paid. I didn't see what that was for. The kick had been made, but Gunn now receives a 50-metre penalty, which will take him all the way to the goal square. Bailey, did you see what happened?
No, I had no idea. I was keeping an eye on the Beaconsfield bench, KP.
Trent?
No, I missed that one, but it's an interesting way that it's gone. Tim Gunn got rid of it and then had a downfield free kick, but No, it's resulted in a goal nonetheless to Tim Gunn, but no, that's a very interesting call there by the umpire, but they take the lead now to 13 points.
There's no remonstration from the Beaconsfield players, so whatever's happened. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, and I apologise for commentating like that. When you don't see it, you're better off saying nothing when you don't know what's going on. Well, they've gone to a 13-point lead now, Berwick, with that goal.
Well, it looked like Sean Pollard might have given away the infringement as well, because he's still talking to the umpire about it now, but no, that's a very interesting call, but no, Berwick will take the 6 points and they stretch it out now to a 13-point lead, 6-7-43 to Beaconsfield 4-6-30.
The ball's thrown up. Meyer there against Phillips. He tried to collect it out of the ruck and then got tackled, so the free kick will go the way of Gumaz for Berwick. Running past there is Ash Smith, who needed to kick it quickly. Is closed down there by Arts. It's a mongrel kick forward, hard for the forwards. The ball spills to Manly. The hand pass out there towards Gunn. Collects the football now. The kick around. The body's going to float through. 3 in the quarter for Gunn. 3 in the third. And Berwick now enjoy their biggest margin of the day. They go out to a 19-point lead. 7-7-49 on the back of Tim Gunn's 3 goals in this third quarter. They lead by 19 points. What did you see down there, Trent?
Not Pollard. I'm just trying to work out who his teammate is standing next to him, playing on Nelson. He stood on the goal line and watched that sail straight over his head. Did not make any attempt to touch it. It was very close to the line as well. But no, Clint Evans won't be very happy with that effort, and they stretch it out to 19 points now to the Wickers.
Can Beaky respond? Meyer against Anderson. Both players miss it, so Meyer does the roving, kicks the ball forward. Joyce couldn't take the mark. Breaks a tackle there of Yields. Hand pass over the top towards Miss Slicky. Gets one high from McClarty. Wasn't paid. Johnson's there. Goes back to Miss Slicky. Tries to break a tackle. Couldn't do so. Hand pass in space there for McDermott. He's got Johnson to beat. Johnson does too well in that one-on-one contest. He clears it, but his kick though has been cut off there by Morris. Too far out to score. They're all calling for it, so he just pops it up. They need a mark. Joyce is too far out the back. Flying over the top there was Anderson. Lucky not to give away the free kick. The ball spills to Yields. Hand pass to Smith. Stops, props. Oh, his kick's been smothered. The diving attempt there by McGowan. The ball comes out to Mitchum. Hand pass towards Pollard. He needs some support there from G. That wasn't there. Going through Dodsworth leaves the football behind. West gets a hand pass out. Dodsworth goes in. Couldn't get the football out. G goes towards Mitchum. Tries to break the tackle, couldn't do so. It's been turned over. Brennan gets his quick kick forward. Bouncing football there for Johnson. He's there with Stewart. The ball spills out towards Gunn. He couldn't collect it. Stoko's there. He's been upended. Johnson gets the hand pass out towards Manly. The slow dinosaur gets the hand pass out towards Gumaz. He breaks one tackle. He turns in, gets his kick smothered. Beaky with the numbers now. Morris tries to break the line. He does well, the young fella. He breaks one tackle and kicks it long. They need a mark. Flying back with the pack there was Smith. He couldn't collect it. Johnson's there. They get the hand pass away. That option's ignored. He decides to kick it. Looking for McDermott. Joyce is there. McDermott keeps his feet. McDermott could click the football. He couldn't. All he needed to do was pick up that football and run into an open goal. He went to pick it up and socketed it off his boot. Unfortunate. Didn't look good. And getting a few cheers from the local crowd, as you could expect.
The effects mic really told the story of that display there, Kane. All he had to do was pick up that ball and he was away, and Beaky would have definitely have got a goal out of that play.
So a limp throw in there. Mitchum doing the ruck, tapped it back towards Joyce, goes to Mitchum now. Off one step, kicks it high. Brown has 3 to beat. The Berwick defence are playing deep. West does well. Couldn't take the mark, but trapped the football. Plays on. Hand pass there towards Harold. Under some pressure. Is that holding the football? No. Going through McClarty. Diving on top of it there was Harold. Bit of a push and a shove as Mitchum comes off the ground. Swaja is back on. And we're going to see the ball thrown up at true centre half forward there for the Eagles. The first 10 minutes of play all the way at Berwick, where they've kicked 3 goals. Myers taps it down to Mislicky. The kick around the body, getting held onto there was Taylor Joyce. No free kick was paid. Loose football now. The kick coming from the pocket. Loose, but bad bounce in the goal square there for Taylor Joyce. He couldn't collect it. I was trying to see who kicked that ball in. I think it may have been Brown.
Swaja, actually.
Swaja, was it? 4-7-31, the Eagles. They trail by an even 3 goals. Kicking it in now will be Yields. Nearly overran the line there, Yields. They're all moving towards the broadcast side of the ground. The Berwick boys are getting full of voices. Their team's leading by 19 points. The kick-in's been cut off there by McDermott. The quick kick around the body. Olsen was courageous. Couldn't take the mark there against Harold. Harold dives back on top of his opponent there in Olsen. Olsen was unlucky there. He got taken out in the marking contest. And before he could turn around, he had the ball loose in his hand, so given no chance to get rid of it. There is 30 players around this football at the moment. Meyer punches it. By himself is McGowan. He'll need to kick the goal, young McGowan. He couldn't do so. The kick around the body failed in every direction and went out of bounds on the full. So Risley will kick it back in. Out towards Ash Smith. Tries to take the mark. Couldn't do so. McGowan did well. Swajo dives back in. The umpire's paid a free kick there. I think that's against Beaconsfield for too high. Harold will take the free kick. He hand passes the ball off his knees. And Berwick now get the ball towards centre wing. Taking a nice mark there on the outer side. Is that McClarty? It might be Nelson. So Nelson kicks it high and long, the under-19 player. Out towards Stoko. Stoko couldn't take the mark. It actually wasn't that player at all. It may have been McClarty. We'll get that confirmed. He's got a bit of tape on around his shoulders and knees, the Berwick player. I'll leave that one with you, Trent. So the ball's been thrown in. It's actually Mackay there for Berwick, the player that we've been trying to get the name of. Oh, here comes Tim Gunn once again. Can he make it 4 in the third, Tim Gunn? Yes, he can. Oh, he's got it on a string in this third quarter. He just broke open the pack there nicely, ran to 40 metres out and kicked his fourth goal. Tim Gunn doing it all himself in this third quarter, as Berwick now have kicked 4 goals to 1, and they now lead by 4 goals. 8-7-55 to 4-7-31. We have gone 19 minutes of play in this third quarter. Bailey.
Yeah, we spoke at half-time about how Berwick need to kick away and really use the breeze to their advantage in this third quarter, and that's exactly what they've done. So now it's up to Beaconsfield to use the breeze themselves in the fourth quarter and try to kick themselves back into this game.
Some around the ground scores: Rock 3-5-23, Cranbourne 11-7-73, Pakenham 7-7-49, Dufton holding on 5-6-36, and Truden 2-6-18 to Narry Warren 11-7-73.
So Meyer taps it down there, soccering it off the ground though was Miss Slicky out towards the boundary line. Ball bounces up there for Johnson, hand pass back there towards Dodsworth. The snap around the body only as far as Risley. Brown didn't even compete in the marking contest, so Risley goes to the West. That's better competing there by Brown. Corralling his opponent there in West. Goes by hand towards his teammate Johnson. This ugly football by Berwick has been turned over. Mislicki runs the 40 metres out. He's gone for a long shot on goal. They compete. Joyce couldn't take the mark. The ball spills free. Johnson tries to hand pass it out. Jollyman Turner wasn't watching, but he's done well, Jollyman Turner. Sweeping hand pass to Risley. Plenty of run here from Berwick. Ash Smith running through the centre. Gives a don't argue to Arts. Strong tackle. Should have been holding the football. McGowan's gone for a run. McGowan's gone to run. He's run over the top of Ash Smith. He's been penalised for a free kick down the field to Van Schilt. Van Schilt off one step. Short pass there towards Gunn. And Gunn's taken the mark. 55 from home. Phillips gone in the pocket. He's gone that way. Meyer's closing. Meyer punches the ball away. He needed to be a little bit more precise by foot there, Gunn. Just floated out, and that space that Phillips had was closed by him having to stand and wait. And good punch away by Meyer not to give away the free kick.
Even a kick a little further in front of him to be able to run onto it, but because it's sat up in the air, Meyer was just able to come in and a massive punch out of bounds. So kill the ball is what defenders are trained to do, KP.
I don't know how Beaky can get themselves back into this game. They've kicked 4 goals for the match. They need 5 goals to win. The quick kick coming there by Harold and taking the mark, a strong mark indeed, was Manly. He had the front position there against Pollard, and he's done well to take the mark. Now, this could end up anywhere. For Berwick's sake, it could be a goal. For the spectators behind the goals, you might get one in the head. We don't know which way this ball's going to go off the boot. In it comes Manly. He's looking confident to go with the drop punt. Michael Manley said, how do you like that, Kane Pollard? That's one of the best goals he's kicked. Manly has made it 5 goals in the quarter for Berwick. They go to 9-7-61. Leading now by 5 goals. 4-7-31. The Eagles are stuck on that margin. Great third quarter performance here by Berwick. And 5 goals to 1 in this third quarter. Who would have thought? It's going all the way at Berwick at the moment, boys. Bailey, Trent's eating some chips, so I have to cross down to you, but great finishing work there by Manly.
It was, and you have to wonder what Beaconsfield can do from here. As you mentioned, they've only kicked 4 goals, and they'll need to kick 5 to get back into this game, so it'll be a real tough task for Beaky from here.
So we're looking at the 11th straight win for the Wickers. They play Cranbourne next week. I wonder if the Eagles in the competition can derail their momentum. If they get through that, It's just a matter of time, you'd think, for the Berwick Football Club. Meyer taps the ball down. Mitchum gets bumped out of it by McClarty. Has a fresh area. The ball goes to Phillips. Hurriedly kicks the ball forward. Competing there was Mackay. Couldn't collect it. Going through, though, a Beaky defence. They clear it now through G. Out towards the half-back line when Mislicky's taken the mark. Every player of this field is on that side of the ground. Ash Smith has gone down. So Andrews has gone down with Swaja behind the play. The umpire says play on. They've kicked it to a one-on-one contest. Brown's given away the free kick there against Risley. But Beaky were trapped in there by Berwick's press. They just moved everybody over there to fill up the space. So Risley goes short to Johnson. That duo's been working out pretty well this afternoon. The kick out towards Jellyman Turner, now Brennan. Usually got plenty of speed. He's ran a fair way. Hand pass to McClarty. Brennan's gone the 1-2. That's nice play. Running through the centre of Edmund Flack. Brennan goes long inside forward. 50 Manly's there. Flying high to take the Marcus Pollard. He couldn't do so. Guns collected it. Guns kicked the goal. 5 in the quarter for Tim Gunn. Well, nothing can go wrong for Timmy. He's having a day out in this quarter. He broke the tackle of Stoko and kicked his 5th for the quarter, 5th for the match. And they lead now by 6 goals. They go to 10-7-67, leading Beaky 4-7-31. When McDermott kicked his first goal of the match, the margin was only 1 point. Since then, we've seen Berwick kick 5 goals, 1 to Beaconsfield's 2 behinds. You just wonder how much momentum was lost in some of those contests, like McDermott socking the ball over the boundary line when he could have collected it and possibly kicked the goal. Evans has addressed the loose man in defence for Berwick by moving G down there onto Michael Risley. So there's no loose man inside the defensive 50 for Berwick at the moment. Beaky now don't have anyone loose, obviously, inside defensive 50. Berwick are going for an open forward line. They've only got 3 players inside forward 50, and that's all you need when Guns kicked 5. Guns there with Manley, and it looks like young Nelson inside forward 50 as well. Beaky's forward line has actually got 4 men inside forward 50, so you can just see the difference in the way the teams are matching up at the moment. Meyer taps it down to Mitchum, back to Meyer. Olsen collects it now. They should be able to find an option. On a long lead there is Damien Johnson bouncing football to stand and wait, props. No real pressure from Johnson, so he just runs away, kicks it back towards Meyer. Needs to be courageous. Good work there by Van Schilt to effect the spoil. McClarty goes back in. Van Schilt's there a second time. Tries to get his hand pass away towards his teammate. Couldn't do so. The ball spills out towards Olsen. Looked like the players were trying to stop and wait for the play. The kick around the body, though, from Olsen. Out towards McDermott. And he couldn't collect the football. They've been stripped of all confidence in this third quarter, have the the Beaconsfield side. It's been 6 goals, 1 in this quarter to 3 goals, 2, the dominance of Berwick in this premiership quarter. Looks like Berwick might be getting the Frank Elliott Shield for the first time this season. The clearance going Beaconsfield's way. It's up and high inside forward 50. Daller's been outpointed all afternoon. That time was by Jaden Joyce. He couldn't get the punch away. Daller applies a tackle. Just inside forward 50 in front of the scoreboard here that has Berwick in front by 36 points. We'll get to Bryce soon for some around the ground scores. That the Doveton and Pakenham game is creating a lot of interest, especially with Pakenham's run home. It's a must-win game for Doveton. Johnson, third man up, taps it down the blind turn coming out of the pack there. Beaconsfield's favour now, it's Mislicki. He's been caught a couple of times. That's the captain. The ball comes out there towards Gumaz. Free kick advantage paid for a push in the back, and the Wickers are away once again. Up towards centre wing. Van Schilt does well. The hand pass to Jellyman Turner. Turns his opponent inside out. Hand pass back towards Risley. Got players breaking for him. Decides to use Kearns. Kearns had a shot on goal when Gunn was by himself. His kick was smothered. The ball fills to Tim Gunn. It doesn't matter. That is 6 goals for the quarter by Tim Gunn. He's doing it all himself. He's shooting down the Beaconsfield defence, is Tim Gunn. That is 6 goals for the quarter. 11-7-73. This is the Gunn show. The Berwick line is fully loaded. Can I get any more in there, boys? But Tim Gunn now has 6. Beaky 11-7-73, leading Berwick 4-7-31.
The game of the round this round, Kane, is the Pakenham-Doveton game. Pakenham still on 7-7-49. Doveton just kicking a goal to 6-7-43. Other games in Rock 29 to Cranbourne 23, and Tooradin 18 to Narre Warren 73.
You said Rock's beating Cranbourne.
No, I didn't.
29-23.
I said, no, I didn't. I said Rock is 29 to Cranbourne 73.
Thank you. That's better.
That's what I said.
We'll check the tapes. Like that 12-year-old voice we heard earlier.
Good, thanks.
Mitchum will take we'll throw the ball back to the umpires. The ball's going to be thrown up inside the centre of Edwin Flack. Swaja goes down. And that is quarter time. Wow. What a quarter of football by the Berwick Football Club. They don't just make good Civilakis here, they produce good footballers as well. Tim Gunn. I got him for 6. Is that right? They kicked 7 goals for the quarter. Manly kicked 1, Gunn kicked 6. What a fantastic individual display by Tim Gunn. He's gone to 3rd in the goal kicking overall for the competition. His 6 goals will take him to 32 goals this year. He kicked 6 goals straight. The ball just fell into his lap a few times and he didn't let it miss. I can see Gary Valentine walking out towards the 3/4 time huddle, Bryce, and he's red.
Does he have his no walk on? Is he angry?
He's looking very angry there, the president of the Beaconsfield Football Club. It's been a disappointing quarter, probably their worst quarter for them. I think if someone had mentioned to Coach Clint Evans or to Beaky, you'll be fine for this, they'll be like, who gives a stuff?
No, the umpires take note of this, and they were told at half-time as well to get a move on, all this sort of things. The little things go in the match report at the end of the game. But no, the league are really trying to crack down on starting times. But I think the breaks are going to have to be something to address as well as they're ushered to hurry up again. Bryce.
So what can happen to Beaconsfield if they're holding up this game? Can they get a fine? Can they? And if they do get a fine, what sort of value are we talking?
It wouldn't be. Wouldn't reach into the thousands, you wouldn't think, but no, the umpires write it down for each break. So half time they took quite a while as well, and 3/4 time. So if that gets mentioned in the match report that they took 2 breaks longer than necessary, Berwick are already in position, ready and waiting to go. No, that's going to be something that the league are going to look at quite strongly and hope to address very quickly, because we've noticed teams are taking quite a long time to get ready after the breaks. So no, this is going to have to be something that clubs and the league are going to have to address quickly. But 42 points margin here at Edwin Flack Reserve. The game's just about done and dusted, but no, there's no excuse for taking your time. We've got a game to finish and we need to do it on time. So just as we await for the last quarter, 42 points to margin. Berwick leading 11-7-73 to Beaconsfield 4-7-31. KP isn't too impressed at the moment.
No, I was looking at my racing results at Morphettville. That was making me get angry. But have we lost the roving mic? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Bailey's decided to join us here.
Saving the best till last came, as we like to say.
And apologies to Mr. Shaw there. I didn't mean to say what I did. And from all the boys' reports, you're a wonderful principal. And I think he's coming up too. Is he listening to 97.7? I'm in deep trouble. So the last quarter about to start. The umpires are getting angry towards the scoreboard attendant. Just blow the siren. Here we go. Last quarter action. Round 14 match of the day between Berwick and Beaconsfield. There's a 4:35 express coming from Berwick. It's just gone through Edwin Flack. The game has commenced. I'm not too sure what was happening there with the siren. He retaliated to the umpire by saying, take a whiff of this horn. And they're on the half-forward line. Mackay holding on to Johnson for too long. Johnson will receive a free kick. There are a few spectators now becoming a little bit boisterous. They're going to enjoy this win at Berwick tonight. Don't forget you can join Berwick Football Club in their 6-year anniversary next week for only $30. Johnson kicks the ball in on a long lead there, but a diving mark has been taken by Pollard. He's taken the mark now. He's gone back.
Very big kick this is going to be if he can put this one through.
I agree, Trent, but it's going to be a tough ask from there. I mean, obviously Berwick made the most of the wind advantage. It does appear like the wind has died off slightly. He'd be kicking this from 55, and he's made his name as a defender. Sean Pollard, he set sail for goal. This will be the start they need for the final quarter, but no. Couldn't get it online, and it went through for a point. They need more than good efforts at the moment, Beaconsfield, if they're going to get into this contest. Yields will kick the ball in. Kerrigan's actually stopped the running. He's just decided to pack his gear up. The ball, one of our favourites here on 97.7. Yields kicks it in, lacks a little bit of penetration. Spilling the mark there was Arts. He went out of it in that 3rd quarter. Pack forms once again. They fall over the top of each other. The umpire will throw the ball up.
we saw in the second quarter the way Berwick set up their defences outside 50 was really quite admirable, the way they set up 3-4 players behind the play, but Beaconsfield just haven't been able to break that, and that's been one of the biggest downfalls for them in this game.
Ash Smith kicks it out there looking for Van Schilt. Both players just see that ball go over the boundary line. Good crowd in attendance now, and there's plenty of Berwick people around and about. A few Beaky people I saw went home, as you'd probably expect after having 7 goals to 1 kicked on you in that third quarter. Arts kicks it out of the pack. Jellyman Turner drops the mark but does well. His second effort was great. He runs away from the opposition. He kicks it up towards centre wing. Kearns couldn't take the mark. Pack forms. Olsen's in there as well. They wrestle for it. Kearns slips over without the football. That was one of the most ugliest fallovers I've ever seen by Ben Kearns.
Geelong have defeated GWS by 27 points in the AFL.
Geelong have. Well, the Cats are getting themselves back into contention at the right time of the year. The Giants under some pressure to maintain their spot in the 8. That is the AFL we're talking about. We're covering the Sefnal here on 97.7 FM. This is a battle for top spot. Berwick will go 1 game clear of Beaky, but Cranbourne will beat Rock this afternoon from the last score I read. So Berwick and Cranbourne next week will be definitely a top-of-the-table clash. You can hear it all here on 97.7 FM. It's Van Schilt, uses his body well. Clears the opposition, kicks it out there looking for Nelson. Guns in there. Kicking the ball forward though is Roberts. Lacked any real direction in his kick. And once again, Michael Johnson takes the mark. Be a battle between him and Timmy Gunn for best on the field as Johnson kicks it long. Olsen takes a front position, couldn't claim the mark. It was a slight push, it was ignored by the umpire. Johnson clears it out. Morris needed to be clean, couldn't do so, got worried out of it there by Smith. Andrews couldn't collect it. Nice work there by Mackay. Hand pass to Harold, uses Brennan. Inside forward, 50 come the Wickers. Was that a free kick to Kearns? Wasn't paid. The Eagles have 3 numbers. Dodsworth hand pass was under some pressure. It comes out. Oh, a strong bump applied there by Van Schilt. Opened up the pack. Kearns by hand out there towards Brennan. He gets cleaned up after hand passing it. The ball comes back to Kearns. Spots up the hot spot. There is Mitch Johnson. He couldn't collect it. The ball comes out towards Mackay. And like the third quarter, easy as you like there for Berwick. Mackay kicks his first. And it's all over here at Edwin Flack. Berwick 12-7-79, leading Beaconsfield 4-8-32. Bailey, you're back in the broadcast position. You must be enjoying this performance, though, by the Wickers.
Yeah, but it is a shame that Beaconsfield have just let this game get away from them after that strong third quarter from Berwick. But maybe this is a sign of things to come in the finals if Berwick are just too dominant.
47 points, the margin. The biggest margin of the afternoon. This has really turned into a one-sided half of football, and it's been all up for grabs. Beaky were back within 1 point after McDermott's first goal of the third quarter. Since then, it's been all Berwick. Arts gets the clearance, kicks it long. Out of position, though, was Pollard. Dowler was front and square. The man at the Pawn Star name kicks his first, but it's already a consolation goal at the 4-minute mark of the final quarter. They go to 5-8-38. Dowler gets his name in the paper next week. That's all that matters. And the margin now is 41 points. Berwick could really hammer it home here against Beaconsfield. If Berwick could win by like 10 goals, wouldn't that be a psychological boost going into the final stretch?
Absolutely. The bigger the margin they take out of this now, the better, because facing Cranbourne next week, and by the looks of things, they're going to get over the top of Rock. Percentage may play a big part in who finishes first and second, and as we know, going into the finals with 5 teams, the top of the ladder gets the first week off in the finals, so that's going to be a huge boost for whoever can finish first. But no, Berwick look pretty much set to have that position locked up as Beaconsfield get a free kick in them for a ruck infringement by the looks of things.
It goes to Arts, he goes short to Mitchum, he's been called to play on. It's gone off the side of the boot, trapping the ball nicely though was Jellyman Turner. The hand pass out towards Smith. Now Mackay in space, he can take a bounce or dispose by foot. He's got to do something, decides to go with the kick option. He spots up Kearns, takes the ball on the bounce, kicks it inside forward 50. The lead from Phillips was ignored. Beating him to the football, beating Mitch Johnson to the football though was Stewart. He does well, you give him the points against Mitch Johnson today. And he found Johnston, who goes inboard towards Arts. Bit of respect towards Mitch Johnson though, he probably hasn't got the best supply this afternoon, and we saw the gun show in that third quarter. So the kick around the body though by Mislicky was well read there by Jellyman Turner. He's had plenty of it in this final quarter. He goes short to Matty Andrews, one of their prime playmakers this season. He's been quiet as well. There's been some of the lesser-known players for Berwick who have really stepped up in this contest. So Andrews goes short to Brennan. Johnson's actually coming off the ground for a rest. We'll cross out in the Bailey to see who he's been replaced by. It's actually Manley. So Berwick have the ball on centre wing. Well, as we've seen in this third quarter, every player gets sucked into the outer side. The long kick looking for Gunn. Nice use of the body though by G. No players could take the mark. The ball's gone out of bounds. 79-38. Berwick have nearly doubled their score, or over doubled their score, isn't it? 38 is 76, so they're doing well. Beaconsfield kept one of their lowest scores of the season for such a talented forward line. You'd think they'd kick more than 5 goals in this do-or-die contest. They haven't mustered up much of anything today, Beaconsfield, especially in the second half. The long kick out of the clearance, out towards Jellyman Turner, got a push in the back there by Arts. No free kick was paid, it's been turned over. The hand pass into space there for Arts going through was Risley. He couldn't collect the body or the football, and it's gone out of bounds. Beaconsfield kicking with the small aid of a breeze. 13 scoring shots to 19.
Today's efforts really shows the hole left by the Bull, doesn't it? They really miss his body across that half back line and the drive forward that he provides. So that if he's out for another couple of weeks, that's a massive loss for this football club. They're going to have to be able to create something to replace his role in their team, because Berwick have just completely outran them today and outclassed them going forward.
And they often say, Trent, you can learn more from a loss than you can a win. Be back to the drawing board for Beaconsfield, you'd think, after this performance, as Andrews clears it. There was some talk last week that Berwick made Narrabri look obsolete. Well, they're doing the same thing here this afternoon against the Eagles. The long kick inside forward 50. Nice little hand pass there by Nelson to Jellyman Turner. Over to Jaden Joyce. The 1-2 to Jellyman Turner was ignored, so he uses West. Running through the centre half back, he kicks it long. Guns continuing to run here. Loose football now. Stewart in the best position to collect it. Oh, great tackle there by Gunn. Socking the ball forward there was Kearns. He'll need to collect it, he does. Worried out of it though by Olsen. Olsen slips over at the wrong time. Allows Kearns to get his kick away. Coming up to meet it there was Brown. He couldn't collect it. Brennan, can he run under the football? He can. He needs to break the tackle of Dodsworth. He couldn't do so. Hand pass back out there towards Van Schilt, but the kick around the body coming from Nelson has hit the post. Sorry, I got distracted by another Beaky player going down there with the hobbles. It looks like it's Morrish. And they'll get a score check soon. The quick kick in coming from Dodsworth. Flying the pack though was Andrews. He couldn't take the mark. Gave Mislicky some space. He kicks it long to centre half forward. Coming up to meet it there, Pollard. Dropped the mark he should have taken. Trying to get the hand pass out. Now he decides to kick it long inside forward 50. McDermott's going to be the option. He meets it but drops it. At the same time, the ball comes out there towards the Berwick player in Hillard. Gets a hand pass to Mackay. He's got plenty of tape on him, young Chris Mackay. Has to go back to hand by hand to Hillard. Hillard's kick looking for Kearns, went as far as McGowan. And McGowan fell over trying to play for the 50, which wasn't there. He goes short to centre wing when Mitchum takes the mark off one step. Long penetrating kick inside forward 50. Mackay wasn't Mackay, it was Dowler in the front position here, couldn't take the mark. Good work there by Yields to push that ball over the boundary line. It's going to be thrown in. Just inside forward 50 for Berwick. They lead now by 40 points. 5-9-39 to 12-7-79. Berwick working in numbers. Good work there by Risley to find Hillard. He's been very strong today, Hillard. Hasn't had a lot of the football, but when he's got it, he's been clean. He found Jaden Joyce. He can bring it towards the outer side now through Brennan. Dancing, bobbing, not too sure what to go. So he goes to his captain in Matty Andrews, who goes short to Van Schilt. Van Schilt's marked it, defensive side of centre wing on the outer side. He's been called to play on. McClarty's gone down behind play. Received a bump there by Mitchum. That was a nice kick and nice mark there by Kearns, Trent, you're right. McClarty and Mitchum are still going at each other. There's been a 50-metre penalty paid against Mitchum for his hit on McClarty. Don't agree with that umpire, but it's probably in the rule book if you dig deep enough. And taking the free kick was Kearns on centre wing, so didn't even go to McClarty down the field. And the 50-metre penalty now has brought Kearns all the way up to 50 metres out. Do you reckon he'll have a shot? No, he was spotted up trying to find Manley's going to be the option. He goes with the one hand, taps it to himself. He couldn't take the mark. Dodsworth was there. He gets collected. The hand pass coming from Arts. Mitchum blind turn. Beautiful play to set up Mislicky. He kicks the ball through centre wing. Cutting it off though was Jellyman Turner. Swaja to Mitchum. Gives it, don't argue. Hand pass misses its target. Swaja goes back in. Gets the hand pass there towards Lincolns. He hacks it forward. Taking the mark though is Meyer. He's been called to play on. Kick around the body. Inside forward 50. Falling over though was Joyce. He's gone down quite heavily there, Taylor Joyce. There's been a free kick, Trent. What was that for?
Holding the man. He just dragged his opposition out of that contest, and Beaconsfield are going to get a chance to kick their second goal for the quarter. But no, there was no need for that.
There are some sore players now for Beaconsfield.
Absolutely, and McDermott, that's probably the hardest goal he's kicked all day, but it's just come far too late in the game. But no, that was very poor defensive work from the Wickers, and Troy McDermott puts through his third goal for the afternoon, or fourth? Second goal for the afternoon, and he brings the score back now to 34 points, but a little too late, you'd think. KP Berwick leading 12-7, 79 to 6-9, 45.
Just looking at is it Taylor Joyce in front of us there? I'll cross down to Bailey. It looks like he's in a world of pain.
Yeah, the bad news getting worse for Beaconsfield. They've already got 2 men off, and now I'll just have to suss out what's going on with Taylor Joyce. He looks in a bad way.
It might be a quad or groin injury there, the way he's doing some weird sort of dance manoeuvre in front of us. There's been a free kick there against Berwick's captain, Matty Andrews, getting into the back of his opponent, Mislicky. Some around-the-ground scores, please, Bryce.
Oh, no, I wasn't ready for that. I was going to say he might be going to splinter on the grass tonight on the V-line train.
Well, it's a big bomb coming there by Meyer, but it's been marked well on the last line of the fence there by Johnson. He brings it out towards the other Johnson. That's Mitchell, the man responsible for this fine establishment in the gym. Make sure you check out MJ Fitness and Strength for all your fitness needs. He kicks it long. Oh, gun! He wasn't even watching it and he still plucked it. Everything's gone the way of Tim Gunn in this second half. That was a 3-man contested mark. He can kick it long. He's been called to play on. He was hoping to find an option. He's gone towards Mackay. Stewart was there. Would the mark be paid? It should have been. He had enough of it. The umpire says play on. Johnson breaks a tackle. He's had no run today, Damien Johnson. I don't know if he's 100% fit. The hand pass out towards Arts. Goes back towards McGowan. Back to Arts, off one step, he kicks it forward to a sea of Wickers. Jellyman Turner heard footsteps and dropped the footy. Spills to Swaja, inside forward 50, cutting across there was Pollard. He affected McDermott's attempt. The ball spills out there towards Risley, and that ball goes out of bounds.
Some around the ground scores in the Pakenham-Dufton game. Pakenham 7-8-50 to Dufton 9-11-65. Dufton kicking 2 goals in the last couple of moments.
What's the score?
Dufton 65, Pakenham 50.
Wow.
Also other scores, Cranbourne 16-13, 109 to Rock 4-6-30, and the other score, Truden 18 to Narry Warren 73.
Strong performance there by the Magpies as Mislicky breaks a tackle and has a shot on goal. Lacked any sort of penetration and went through for a behind. 6-10-46, Beaconsfield to 12-7-79. That's a bit of an upset by Dufton. They were trailing for most of the afternoon to get 16 points up at this stage of the game. It's going to be a wonderful win there to the Doves away from home. We know they've struggled away from AJ Robinson Reserve this season. But back with our play here, Berwick couldn't get any real forward motion in their play that time. The ball's gone out of bounds, 70 metres around from Beaky's attacking end. 16 scoring shots to 19. It doesn't feel like that, does it? Doesn't feel that close. I know we saw a wonderful display in that third quarter by Berwick, but it really feels like Berwick's been dominating this second half of play. Swarge up, breaks a tackle. Nice pass around the body there towards Mislicky. Got a trip there by Harold. Now this will be too far for Mislicky, so he goes into the pocket. On a lead there is Meyer. With Taylor Joyce off the ground, he's moved forward. And Scott Meyer now will line up. Throws up the grass. He needs to aim this right to left. And can reduce the margin back to 28 points. I don't think there'll be enough time, boys, to you.
No, if he can put this through and Beaconsfield get a quick clearance and a mark in their forward 50, which has been the real struggle for them today, that'll bring it back to 22, and that might make it half interesting as he's slotted that one through. No, he's just sprayed it just across the face on the last line. So that's a very disappointing result there from...
It was Meyer.
They've
kicked 2 goals for in this quarter to 1 goal. That goal coming the way of young Mackay for Berwick. So they've had 5 scoring shots. If they had kicked 4 goals, one would be a different story, you would think. Kearns kicks it in. Goes to a 2-on-1 contest. Harold kind of faked it going at it, just got his hands on it, so it didn't go out of bounds on the full. And the ball's going to be thrown in once again. You're tuned into KC Radio 97.7 FM, Saturday afternoon football, live from Edward Flack. We thank you so much for your ongoing support. Meyer taps it back towards the centre of the ground. Riding the tackle there was McDermott. The ball comes out to Johnson. Now Swaja. The kick around the body goes higher in the air than further in distance. Pollard couldn't take the mark. Jellyman Turnan's in there. Also Risley into the back of Dalla. No free kick was paid. Hillard tries to get it out. It's just a surge and the surge of the pack just goes forward a little bit. And we're going to see the ball thrown up. They'll be celebrating long and hard at the Cardi Hotel this afternoon, the Berwick Football Club, you would think. The ball comes down. Olsen couldn't get it out. Standing up in the tackle, though, was McDermott. He got slung as his kick that's gone right across the face. The ball's still in play. Dodsworth and Hillard go at it. And Hillard quite happy and content to use the boundary line. What's the atmosphere like down at ground level, Bailey?
Oh, it's absolutely buzzing down here with the Berwick boys. They're loving it. They're just looking forward to next week against Cranbourne, where they can make it 2 wins against teams that they've lost to previously this season. So
they'll be rocking at the Shaw household this afternoon with Bailey and Lockie getting amongst it, drinking the cheap drinks, that's for sure. On the half-forward line, Beaky try and put Berwick under some pressure. The umpire seen a free kick. Was that holding the footy?
It looks like a too high free kick came first, which was lucky for the Eagles in the end.
Mitchum goes long. Reading the play nicely, though, was Risley. Managed to punch that ball over the boundary line. And Berwick just clear it. Jellyman Turner just uses his pace to burn. Gets it all the way out towards centre wing. Nelson read it well, but left the football behind. He goes in a second time. Tries to effect the interception. Couldn't do so. The pack forms. Oh, going in there, I think, was Brown. The umpire says play on. The ball spills out towards Mitchum. Now Johnston. The centre of Edmund Flack off one step. It's a high up and under kick. Pushing his opponent there was Pollard. And Joyce will take the free kick. That's the Jaden variety. And he takes a free kick at centre half back.
Just a text message coming through. The final one I'm going to read out today. In fact, I won't read it up. I don't want to upset you, Kane.
Yep, that's good, Bryce. So the kick there towards Jellyman Turner. He goes to centre wing. Gunn takes the mark there in front of Olsen. The umpire says play on. The kick coming forward, though, by McDermott was pretty good to get that kick away. It was tight in and close, but taking the mark there was Jaden Joyce. So he goes towards the back pocket, where Phillips does all the hard work there, but drops the mark at the last chance. That ball goes over the boundary line.
Well, you can see why they've won 11 straight, can't you, KP? Well, we put this one in the book as their 11th straight win, and next week, wow, Berwick versus Cranbourne versus Berwick out at Casey Fields. That's going to be one of the games of the year, you'd think, and I've tipped Cranbourne to win the flag this year, so that might be a preview of the grand final, you hope, but no, that's going to be a cracking game next week.
So Meyer taps it down, using the volley to his advantage, though, was Smith. He's just hacked it out of mid-air. The ball's gone deep inside forward. 50 players were fighting. The ball nearly landed on their head. The pack's formed, and the ball's going to be thrown up. So, yeah, nice beard, mate. And
needs a bit of a shave.
Yep.
Trim up.
Derelict supporters down here. The ball's been thrown up. Going through there was Mislicki. Couldn't get his hand pass away. Going through, though, is Phillips. Gets pushed as he's kicked it. Bouncing football there for Brown. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle, but too high has been the call. And Brown will take the free kick. They've been dominating this quarter, but just haven't provided any scoreboard relief. So Brown will kick the ball inside forward 50. And taking the mark there and taking the front position was Dodsworth. And Dodsworth will line up to have a shot on goal. Nearly directly in front. Nice work there by Dodsworth to get to the front position to take that mark. We're at the 20-minute mark of this final quarter. I hope someone can ring that siren soon. I'm over this game of football. 12-7 to 6-11. Had all the hype and delivered nothing. Beaky will have to go back to the drawing board, as we mentioned. In comes Dodsworth now. That's a beautiful shot on goal by Dodsworth. And they go to 11-7-53. Back down to 26 points. Berwick appear to have stopped. And nice work there by Dodsworth. He joins the goal kickers. That's his first goal of the afternoon. Beaky are now trailing by 26 points. Bailey, you're still with us?
I am, KP. I'm just trying to work out who I'm going to go talk to at the end of this game. Who would you like me to go have an interview with?
I think the sixth goal in third quarter man in Tim Gunn's probably one to get a bit of beef into his head going into next week. He's had an outstanding game today, especially in that third quarter, and moved around the ground really well this afternoon as well. And Kane mentioned it before as well, the lesser known players have really stood up today. We haven't seen a lot of Ash Smith in the second half. We haven't seen much of Geordie Andrews. We haven't seen much of Phillips either in the second half. It's been Kane mentioned it in the third quarter, it's been the gun show this afternoon. So
Miss Licky just got ridden there by Van Schelt. Trying to mount him from behind. The sort of action we might see some from Bryce later on tonight. So Meyer punches the ball long. He likes his man-on-man action as Eishold. Trying to get the ball out was Yields. He couldn't do so. And it's going to be a free kick on the way of Swaja. So Swaja is calling for a 50. It won't be paid. They'll kick the ball long inside forward 50. They need a mark. Jellyman Turner gets in the back of his opponent. No free kick was paid. The hand pass coming out there by Hillard finds Risley. He has to retreat back into the last line of defence where Kearns is there. His kick out of defence, though, was smothered by McDermott. Ricochets towards Joyce. Long penetrating kick towards centre wing. There's only Beaconsfield players there, and it's Miss Licky. The umpires called play on. Harold was bumped out of it early. So Miss Licky's kick, no one could take the mark. Going through there, showing some nice dash was Mackay. Now not too sure which way to go, so he goes with the opposite foot. It's going to be turned over once again. Miss Licky's kick forward. Grabber out towards Pollard. Tries to break a tackle, couldn't do so. The ball goes out towards Andrews. Now Harold. The no-look hand pass out towards Van Schelt. Didn't quite reach him as it was taken there by McClarty to kick up towards the half-forward line. And we're going to see the ball thrown in on centre wing. 12-7-79 Berwick to 7-11-53. 26 points the margin. 25 minutes gone. Shouldn't be a long quarter, you would think. Andrews does well. The no-look hand punch out of the ruck contest going through was McGowan. Hand passes it out towards Miss Licky. Ground ball, made it hard for Dowler. He goes in a second time though, Dowler. Gets his hand pass towards his teammate. Matty Andrews applied a really strong tackle there. We haven't seen Taylor Joyce return from going off the ground. Batterglin went off early, so the injuries are really piling up there for Beaconsfield. They'll lose the 4 points and have a few players injured. It hasn't been the best day for the Beaky Footy Club. So the ball's been tapped down. Going through, Dowler. Gives a no-look hand pass. Misses its target there, and McDermott has to go back and reel around on the outer side. He goes short towards Mitchum. Mitchum takes the mark. He plays on. He kicks it long inside forward 50. Taking the front position, though, it was McDermott. He couldn't take the mark. Good work there by Jellyman Turner. Taps it towards Kearns. He kicks it out looking for Mitch Johnson, who was at the back of Stewart. He couldn't take the mark. Swaja's there under some pressure. His ineffective kick went forward. Joe West was there. Nice hand pass into space looking for Mitch Johnson. About to be tackled from behind. Still got his kick away looking for Gunn. He couldn't get there. 50. Jake Arts has taken the mark. That's not 50 metres. Umpire, please. Good to see he didn't get fall into that trap. So Arts goes back there towards Lincoln's. Breaks one tackle. Kicks it long inside forward 50. They need a mark. Taking the front position though was Dodsworth. The ball gets punched away towards the boundary line. So ticking in the time on, not long to go in this final quarter. Be interesting to see if these two teams meet again in the finals. Kearns is having a chat off the ball there towards Lincoln's. So they've been a little bit vocal on the field today. Not as physical as I expected. Those spot fires seem to be put out during the second half. I guess when you've conceded so many goals, there's not much to say for Beaconsfield. So kicking the ball forward though is Brennan. Loose football, got to be courageous here. Lincoln's ran at Kearns, couldn't collect it. The ball went to Smith. Now Manly under some pressure to kick the ball forward. It's going to be a foot race. Who's the fastest greyhound here? Gunn gets held onto. He'll pick up the free kick. Young Stewart shouldn't have made any contact with his opponent, and he'll line up for a shot on goal now. Tim Gunn, and Tim Gunn will be kicking from 45 metres out. You say too much, Bryce. I've had enough of you. Don't care who sent the text message.
Not a text message.
And he'll be lining up for a shot on goal. Here, Tim Gunn, to put the margin back to 32 points. Some tired players out there, as you could expect. 25 minutes gone here of the final quarter. This is a big kick. In he comes. Can he make it? Goal number 7. Tim Gunn. He runs in. He sets sail from 45 metres out. Oh, he's been shooting him straight. Look at them get around him. It's been an afternoon to enjoy. Tim Gunn kicks his 7th. He's kicked 7 in the second half. 13-7-85. That's just a huge result for him, and the margin now goes back out to 32 points.
Very incredible display from the Gun show.
We need a good nickname for him. What can we call him?
The Rifle.
The Rifle, the Shotgun? I don't know. Shotgun. We'll work it out before the finals. He has really turned it on this week, and I'm sure he's going to be an impact player during the Southeast Final Series. So Phillips tries to get it out. Meyer doing the roving, couldn't do so. Gumaz, hand pass out there towards Smith. Now Mackay, back to Smith, needs to get his kick away, back to be tackled there by Brown. He goes long inside forward, 50, they need a mark, and there's Mitch. Mitch Johnson takes the front position there, taking a mark on his chest, and he'll line up for a shot on goal. From a similar spot to where Tim Gunn did, and this will just be the icing on the cake. If they can finish with a 38-point victory here, it would be enough, you would think, for Berwick to go into the final series as premiership favourites. In he comes. Mitch Johnson now from 45 metres out. The siren's gone, so this will start the celebrations for Berwick. If he can kick it straight, he's got under it, it won't make the distance. And that is the end of the game. The 32-point margin there to Berwick. Berwick, 13-7-85, have defeated Beaconsfield 7-11-53, 32 points the margin. Beautiful victory there by the Wickers, Trent.
Absolutely. Full credit to the boys in blue this afternoon. They have just absolutely outclassed Beaconsfield today, and you can really see why. That's their 11th straight win this year. If you haven't been at the ground today, jump on the SEFNL TV during the week and make sure you have a look at these boys. They're a real threat to this competition this year. You'd almost put them into the grand final based on that effort today. They've outclassed their opponents for the last 11 weeks, and now a test for them next week against the other Eagles of the competition, the Cranbourne Football Club. And boy, what a special game that's going to be for Beaconsfield. They turned up, they put up a very good fight in the first quarter, but from there it just seemed to fall away. Tim Gunn showed them who's boss in that third term, and Beaconsfield are going to have to go away from this and really have a look at how they're going to have to improve and step up to be able to draw level in this competition against the top sides in Cranbourne and Beaky. Bailey has grabbed
Tim
Gunn, the man himself, the 7 goals to Tim Gunn. Bailey Shaw's with him in the centre of Edward Flat Reserve. Bailey?
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Tim, the Naked Gun. Massive game from you today, big boy. What was going through your mind in that third quarter? The ball was just sticking to your hands and you were just kicking goal after goal.
Oh yeah, it just kept landing in my lap. No matter where I went, it just kept coming to me. So yeah, it worked out pretty well.
So the game against Beaky is obviously a massive game regardless of ladder position, but after the loss earlier in the season and the implications of playing finals, was it more than just a 4-point game today?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, we've been working pretty hard. Pretty disappointed with our round 1 loss, so we've been working pretty hard to come up and beat these boys at home. So yeah.
So looking forward to the game against Cranbourne, you've just knocked off the side that beat you earlier in the season. Is that the same mentality going into Cranbourne, or are you just focusing more on today's game, or is it looking at beating Beaky and beating Cranbourne and really sending a strong message going into finals?
Yeah, definitely against Cranny as well, because we lost to them first round, so be working hard this week and hopefully get the win over them.
KP?
Oh no, let him go, mate. The boys are waiting to celebrate. Congratulations, Tim, on a wonderful performance. That third quarter will go down in the memories of us. That was one of the best performances we've seen this season. Congratulations on your man of the match today.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Tim Gunn kicking 7 goals there for Berwick in a wonderful performance. We'll go through the goal kickers and other details shortly. It seems to be blowing an absolute gale out there. Be careful you don't get blown over, Bailey. I did notice Clint Evans and a few of the Beaky coaches meeting in the middle there. We forgot about Jake Bode going off the ground, so they were restricted with players on the bench, but it was a disappointing afternoon for the Beaky Football Club. They've still got a few weeks to improve and respond, so it's not all panic stations just yet. It's only their 3rd loss of the season. but opens up the opportunity for a change in the ladder position towards the end of the season now, as Berwick have now gone one game clear of Beaconsfield in third. Cranbourne would have got the victory against Rock, and I've just been given the scores. Doveton have kicked away against